Here's a leadership truth that might mess with your conditioning a little. The calmest leaders in the room are often the most dangerous, in the best way. Not loud, not frantic, not fueled by urgency. Calm leaders don't rush, they don't posture, they don't need chaos to feel relevant. And in a culture addicted to speed, urgency, and constant reaction, that kind of calm is disruptive. Today, we're deconstructing urgency culture, breaking down the difference between clean leadership and frantic leadership, and reclaiming calm, not as passivity, but as power. Because urgency is not the same thing as importance, and leaders who know that change the game. Let's start with the water we're all swimming in. Urgency culture teaches leaders that fast equals effective, pressure equals importance, reactivity equals leadership. If you're calm, you must not care. If you pause, you must be falling behind. But urgency culture isn't neutral. It trains leaders to stay activated, to move first and think later. Urgency creates motion, not necessarily progress. Noise, not clarity. Here's the key distinction. Urgency is a state. Importance is a judgment. Urgency says, act now or else. Important asks, does this actually matter? When leaders conflate the two, everything becomes an emergency. And when everything is an emergency, discernment dies. Calm leadership isn't slow, it's selective. It knows when speed is required and when it's performative. This is where the difference really shows. Frantic leadership looks like rapid decisions without grounding, constant course correction, emotional contagion spreading throughout the team, boundaries bending under pressure. It often gets praised because it looks busy, responsive, and intense, but underneath it's unstable. Clean leadership, on the other hand, looks quieter, decisions made from clarity, not pressure, fewer reactions, more direction, emotional steadiness that regulates the room, boundaries that hold even when things get tense. Clean leaders don't absorb chaos, they metabolize it. This is where the liberated leader ecosystem comes into play. Your freedom fuel, inner regulation, self-trust, emotional steadiness, determines whether urgency hijacks you or informs you. Your freedom engine, systems, priorities, decision filters, keeps you from mistaking noise for signal. Calm leaders aren't disengaged, they're anchored, and anchoring energy is powerful. Here's why calm leaders often get misunderstood. Calm disrupts patterns. In urgency-driven environments, calm can feel like resistance, defiance, lack of buy-in, even arrogance. But what's really happening is this. Calm leaders don't mirror anxiety. They don't escalate just because others do. They don't trade clarity for speed to soothe the discomfort. That's threatening to systems built on reaction. Another reason calm gets misread, it forces accountability. When a leader stays calm, there's no chaos to hide behind. Decisions become visible, priorities get exposed. Unfortunately, some leaders confuse calm with passivity and overcorrect. They add urgency to prove they care. They rush to show relevance. But urgency doesn't build trust, consistency does. Calm leadership isn't the absence of intensity, it's intensity that's been disciplined. So let's make this practical. Calm leadership shows up most clearly in decisions and boundaries. Before responding urgently, ask, is this actually time sensitive or just emotionally charged? That pause alone is power. In decision making, calm leaders separate signal from noise, slow down long enough to choose cleanly. Don't let pressure rush alignment out of the room. In boundaries, calm leaders sound like this. I'm not available for that timeline, but here's what is possible. We're not deciding this today. We'll decide it well. No defensiveness, no over-explaining. Calm doesn't mean saying no more often. It means saying yes with intention. And when calm becomes consistent, teams learn something critical. Urgency doesn't control the system. Clarity does. Calm leaders aren't dangerous because they're aggressive. They're dangerous because they're solid. They don't borrow urgency to feel powerful. They generate stability, and stability creates leverage. In a reactive world, calm is a competitive advantage. In leadership, it's a form of authority. If this resonated, stay with this playlist. We're building leadership that's steady, discerning, and sustainably powerful. I'm Katie Schulke, and we're building badass leaders one power skill at a time.